Hey everybody, Brian from the channel Brian here to recommend you watch the show Smiling Friends. This is a new Adult Swim cartoon by Zachary Hadel, aka Psychic Pebbles, and Michael Cusack. I don't know much about Cusack, but Hadel has a long career as an internet animator and comedian on Newgrounds and YouTube. If you're familiar with his work on shows like Oni Plays and Sleepycast, you're as familiar with his sense of humor as you need to be to get this show.
Bye.
Whatever.
Hello, family!
I know Adult Swim is complete ass now, especially now that they've peppered in some Rick and Morty clones to mingle with their Family Guy clones, but this is not the typical random / gross out hybrid you've come to expect from the platform. Zach's humor is based in non sequitur, but there's usually some type of creative rationale behind each of his decisions. Without just listing off jokes I liked, the active absurdism that drives the plot of several episodes makes me not only laugh at what's happening, but laugh again at choosing to specifically repeat that specific joke or that specific background character. There's a scene at a f***ing gym, and this guy stares at the barbell on the floor the entire time and never goes to pick it up. Now that's funny. Zach is also a big fan of overly natural conversational dialogue as comedy, and this only works because of the voice acting and the general sense of chaos just under that veneer of casual workplace humor. I mean, just look at this title sequence. You know what kind of show this is. The passage of time dictates that young people with different inspirations than the previous generation are going to take over every industry eventually. And for the animation industry, that means guys from Newgrounds are eventually gonna be in charge. Smiling Friends is unmistakably of the internet age. Instead of some corporate hack hiring analysts and writers to study internet culture and horribly replicate it, they got people from the internet to do what they do best, but with resources and a platform. They even got Mike Stacklasa and Chills to give cameos.
Number 15. Could I get the number 15?
Hadel's irreverence is on full display as well through the protagonist, Charlie, who will constantly be the sobering, set-in-his-ways straight man to the antics which surround the titular Smiling Friends. And you know how when South Park has a moment of clarity when characters will clearly be voicing just what the creator's personal opinions on the episode's subject are? Charlie is very much that character for Hadel, representing his worldview at large. Sometimes it'll be distracting because he'll go off on a cancel culture tangent that's not part of a joke yet, but mostly the dry humor works. Now, the animation doesn't look like it's from the highest budget in the world, but I appreciate that when appropriate, the cheapness of the animation was part of the joke. Most of the characters are all distinct, memorable, and fun to have around. There are some that do that Adult Swim cliche of let's draw this character as ugly as possible and that's the joke. But even when Smiling Friends does this, it is nowhere near as unappealing to look at as the basic art style of, say, Problem Solvers or other shows that are currently running, like right now. Whether or not the show appeals to you aesthetically, because for the most part it does look like your typical adult animated cartoon, Zach and Michael clearly put in effort here. There is painstaking detail in making this one character, Mip, a hobbit who is the spitting image of the art style in the Bakshi Lord of the Rings movie, as well as other fun examples of mixed media that get some laughs too. The show has already been renewed for a second season, so if there was anything they could really step up after this one, it's the storylines. Most episodes have a pure comedy approach where everything is for the sake of a joke. So the actual storylines often take a back seat or lean on genre parody. There's a fantasy episode, a murder mystery episode, a Halloween episode, a Christmas episode, and a quasi-evil twins episode. Other episodes like Shrimp's Odyssey really break this mold and get the best of both worlds, the story and the pure comedy. But I mean, Charlie going to hell and instead of Satan being all dark and imposing, he's, get this, this'll blow your mind, he's just like a regular guy. Straight out of the South Park movie, doing that 23 years ago. They also really liked the joke where someone the friends have to help out turns out to be like a gamer. I think many of Zach's fans are afraid of criticizing the show at all because of the intense parasocial relationship many of them have with him. But as blown out of proportion as the reaction to this show might be in the slightest, as the show isn't perfect, at least most of the praise is based in stuff the show is actually doing. There are only 8 episodes, and each roughly 11 minutes long. You can watch it on HBO Max for free in less time than you could most movies. And as it goes heavily against the grain for a lot of adult cartoon humor, I don't think you'd lose much by checking it out. So I'm giving Smiling Friends a low to decent 8. I don't think it's going down to a 7, and probably never going up to a 9, so yeah, 8 is good. 8's fine. So, did you like Smiling Friends more than me? Less than me? Well, if you care to, please tell me. And as always, if you like not only words, but the way I arrange and then say them, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to me, Brian, from the channel Brian, please. It'll help me with the algorithm. Thank you, and goodbye.